First of all, it's a great pleasure for Alberta and I to win this award for our Prada IPO case. Frankly, we wrote the case for ourselves. What I mean is that we wrote the case for our own students, be they, as is the case here at HEC Paris, be they pre-experienced master students, specialized master students, MBAs, executives across the board. But of course, it's great to see that the case is being used by people elsewhere in other schools, and the prize is, of course, the cherry on the cake for us. It's great. I think what makes a good finance case study is essentially the finance core of it, but also all the non-finance stuff around it. Our view is that you cannot really teach corporate finance, let alone practice corporate finance, of course, in thin air. That is, you need to know what the business is about, you need to know what are the products, what are the customers, the competition, the strategy, and only then can you start talking about the financial issues. So I think what makes a great case in finance, in some sense, is a good finance core, and then a lot of issues, a lot of context around the finance core to actually make sense of the finance, to realize that finance is not an abstract concept. The case works well with students in the classroom for different reasons, and it works well for different reasons with different students. The case is being used with pre-experienced master students who are 20, 25-year-olds, to MBAs, and all the way down to executives who are more mature, let's say. The case, I think, works well, first of all, because people actually are interested in the brand. They're interested in the company, they're interested in the strategy, the fact they're interested in luxury. The context of the case is interesting. Prada, China, luxury. Students are interested in also in the initial public offering, which is at the heart of the case. And most of all, I think what makes the case succeed, this is true for finance cases, but also for cases in other areas, is that this is a topic where students and participants can bring their own experience to the classroom. Well, there were two main challenges. The first one was to stop giggling, because as you can figure out, I'm not really a Prada boy myself. Alberta is more elegant, I have to say. But I had to talk about a product I'm not a main user of course. But more seriously, the main challenge was actually not so much writing the case itself, but writing the teaching note. We decided to write a very complete, very thorough teaching note that people could use to teach the case in different ways. So the teaching note is fairly long and fairly detailed, and people can either use all of it or just part of it, depending on what they want to emphasize in the course. I would think of a case in two steps. First step, at the core of the case, the center of the case, there's one issue that you know you want to treat. In the case of Prada's Hong Kong IPO, well, it's the IPO. The process of the IPO, and the valuation of the company at the time of the IPO. These are technical issues. I know I want to cover them. This is the aim of the session. Second step, I want to have a number of side issues that I can treat or not during the session, depending on how the conversation goes, what students are in the classroom, what they bring, what ideas they have, and so on. For Prada's Hong Kong IPO, there's at least 3 or 4. There's a family business. There's an Italian company doing an IPO in Hong Kong. Why is that? There's luxury, and luxury in China, the sociology of luxury consumption, and so on.